Good evening. I'm Janine Wester, president of Empower Her of the Palm Beaches and organizer of When We All Vote Palm Beach County Voting Squad. We are extremely excited tonight about this forum with one of our partners, the F. Malcolm Cunningham Bar Association. It's important to hear from our judicial candidates. Judicial means nonpartisan candidates. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and to advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build and inform and engage electorate for today and generations to come. Michelle Obama launched When We All Vote in 2018 and was joined by fellow co-chairs such as Tom Hanks, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Janelle Monáe, Chris Paul, Selena Gomez, Lisa Koshai, Megan Ratnor, Shonda Rhimes, Kerry Washington, and Rita Wilson. Joining this platform in 2022 are Steph Curry, Becky G, Her, Jennifer Lopez, and Bretman Rock. So many great organizations has joined this initiative. For instance, the Palm Beach County Voting Squad, comprised of more than 42 local nonpartisan organizations, representing the many faces of our community. We're standing by the mission to increase participation in elections and to increase the voting gap of race and age. In 2020, during a national pandemic, When We All Vote ran a robust, multifaceted campaign and reached thousands of Palm Beach County citizens to educate them about voting and the voting process. We registered them to vote and we prepared them to vote. And now, embarking upon our next step, which brings us to this platform tonight of judicial candidacies, which aims to build a truly inclusive environment where people from all backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences can be represented through our true democracy. Thank you to F. Malcolm Cunningham Bar Association for true transparency. I now turn this virtual platform over to the F. Malcolm Cunningham Bar Association. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Whitney Baldwin Powell, the president of the F. Malcolm Cunningham Senior Bar Association. And it's an honor to introduce our moderator this evening, Attorney Yasmin Lewis. Attorney Lewis is an associate attorney at Cersei Denny's Garola Barnhart and Shipley, where she focuses her practice on representing victims of catastrophic personal injury and wrongful death accidents. Currently, Attorney Lewis is the secretary of the F. Malcolm Cunningham Senior Bar Association. Attorney Lewis earned her BS degree in economics from Florida State University, and she was awarded an academic scholarship to the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University College of Law, Go Rattlers, where she was a member of Phi Alpha Delta Legal Fraternity and was appointed to the executive board of the Women's Law Caucus as the representative of the Florida Association for Women Lawyers. As an undergraduate student, Attorney Lewis developed a passion for mentoring youth. While at FSU, she mentored middle school children in underserved communities outside of Tallahassee. In law school, she organized several of her classmates and founded a tutoring and mentoring program at a local high school. Attorney Lewis is a strong believer that mentorship of the youth, especially in underserved communities, is critical to the growth and success of the youth in those communities. I present to you all our moderator for this evening, Attorney Yasmin Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yasmin Lewis, and I'm very excited to virtually be with you tonight. First off, we would like to thank you for joining the When We All Vote Palm Beach County Voting Squad Judicial Candidates Forum. We are committed to presenting this judicial forum each election year to present vital information to members of our community. Hopefully, our forum will provide you more insight into the respective candidates' qualifications and character. Now, let me talk to you very briefly about Florida's court system. Florida's court system is divided into two tiers, the county court and the circuit court. Now, circuit courts hear a wide variety of cases divided into two tiers. The cases include criminal felonies, family law matters, civil cases with more than $30,000 at issue, probate issues, and juvenile cases. Now, on the other hand, a large part of a county court judge's work involves presiding over voluminous citizen disputes like traffic offenses, less serious criminal matters, and small monetary disputes not exceeding $30,000. Now, all judges, both circuit and county, are tasked with protecting the rights of citizens and interpreting the laws. And for that reason, it is extremely important for judges to perform their duties impartially and diligently. Now, tonight, we will be hearing from candidates in two judicial races. One race being for Palm Beach County Circuit Court Judge Group 23, and the other race being for Palm Beach County Court Judge Group 9. Note that all candidates for each race were invited to participate. Now, the rules for tonight's forum are as follows. All candidates in each race will be asked the same pre-screened questions, which they can choose not to answer. After that, we will ask questions submitted by the audience. Now, audience, if you have a question, please submit it in the question and answer section on Zoom or in the Facebook comment section. And at the conclusion of all questions, each candidate will have 1 minute for a closing statement. Now, for County Court Group 9, the candidates in attendance are Judge Paul D'Amico and Attorney Karen Velez. Now, we will now proceed with opening statements, and each candidate will have 2 minutes. We will begin with Judge D'Amico.
Well, thank you all for this opportunity to address you all, and thank you for doing it for Zoom. It really is, makes it convenient and safer for everybody. I have been your judge for the last 20 years. Many of you have known that. Many of you have been before me. I work on the civil bench, the criminal bench, and I also do domestic violence cases as well. Prior to becoming a judge, many of you know that I was a prosecutor here in Palm Beach County. All of my public service is in Palm Beach County. I did that for approximately 10 years, became board certified, tried every type of case you can imagine, from possession cases to murder in the first degree. As I said, got board certified as a criminal specialist. Wanted always to be specifically a county court judge, and I knew that I needed to round myself out professionally. So I joined the public defender's office in '97. It was the best decision that I could have made. I worked as an assistant public defender for 5 years. And it balanced me out, not only as a professional, but eventually in 2001 as a judge. And I believe a more balanced judge is a better judge. Our courtroom, for those of you that have been through it or talked to any lawyer that has been through it, and there's been many, we have two distinct aspects of uniqueness. One, our courtroom is also a classroom. We get a lot of young lawyers, and we teach young lawyers to assimilate into their professions. I'm an adjunct professor, and I love teaching. The other aspect that's unique is how it's controlled. High degree, principled compassion and respect, not just for the judge, but for everybody that works in there, including the attorney. Respect must be given and afforded to all. And what that has done, and it has creates a great working environment. The best compliment I ever get from a lawyer is, Judge, we love when we get a case assigned to you because it's such a pleasurable place to work in. And as I said, I can't be complimented more than that. Thank you again, and I'm glad to be here, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Judge D'Amico. Now we will hear from Attorney Velez. Wait for the timer to begin before you may begin.
Thank you all so much for being here and for having me. I'm Karen Velez. I'm running to be your next Palm Beach County Court judge because I have the experience and work ethic to run a fair and efficient courtroom where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. It is because of the breadth of my work, life, legal experience that you and everyone should vote for me. I've been an attorney for 16 years, and from before law school, I have two professions that would assist me on our local bench. One in the private sector, where I worked in insurance defense, and one in the public sector, where I worked educating our children. Let's talk about my legal experience. I've been an attorney for 16 years. I began my legal experience at the Public Defender's Office, where I was in court every single day for over a decade, handling everything from misdemeanors all the way through homicide, helping juveniles, people with substance abuse problems, regular everyday people, mostly people of color, and also Spanish-speaking clients, navigate our legal system. I was a Spanish floater and assigned the non-English speakers. I did that for over a decade. Beyond that, I have jury trial and bench trial experience, and I have my own law firm, the Velez Law Firm, which I started 4 years ago. In my practice, I do mostly civil stuff, family law, paternity, equitable distribution, child custody, all of that. Beyond those 16 years, two professions would help make me a well-rounded judge, and one is insurance defense work. And I began in New York after college, and I was asked to open the Fort Lauderdale, Florida office, and I've been in Boca Raton for almost 25 years ever since doing that. I left to teach. I was an educator teaching on 9/11, helping students through the horrific attack of 9/11. I realized life is short, no one's promised tomorrow. I wanted to pursue my dream of going to law school and went to law school, and this is my current dream, to be a judge. It is, again, because of the depth, breadth of my life legal experience that I am suited for the bench. We know judges make important decisions.
2 minutes is up. Now let's get to the questions. The same question will be asked of all candidates. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond. Now, please wait for the timer before you begin. Question 1 will be addressed to Judge D'Amico first. Do you believe empathy should play a role in justice? And if you say yes, how have your life experiences made you more empathetic to the diverse minority populations that may come before you?
Well, most definitely, yes. So I guess I can't finish because yes, I have to finish the rest of the question. Oh, I'm sorry. Did the timer start?
It's going. It's
okay.
currently going.
I have witnessed discrimination in society in general. I have witnessed it in education. I have witnessed it in our criminal justice system and in our court system for many, many years. Empathy comes into play. It certainly can come into play from the perspective of judge in sentencing. If you sense that there is an issue of involving discrimination, that's certainly, if the person is found to be not innocent, then it certainly could be a factor. But more importantly, before that stage, at the beginning, it needs to be looked into. If you've sensed discriminations in the courtroom, you need to call it out and expose it and deal with it.
Thank you. And for some reason, it looks like the timer is stopped here.
I thought I was going over my minute, and that's why I shut up. I'm sorry.
So, okay. All right. We're reset. Now, Attorney Velez, you have 60 seconds to answer the same question.
Thank you. So empathy is the ability to see things or understand things from others' perspective. And there's a saying that you shouldn't have to experience stuff or go through stuff to understand it. So yes, I believe in empathy, and I believe that it is important to understand people's feelings and be able to put yourself, if you will, in their shoes. And I think that judges can do that, and there is a balance. There is a way that you can do both. How have I done it in my life? I've done it across as a public defender. I've done it with my paying clients at the Velez Law Firm. I did it as an educator during 9/11 and teaching high school students that are going through all sorts of shifts and changes in their lives. So I think that empathy is something judges should have, can do. And my backgrounds, my legal work, life background, all of it lends itself to being an empathetic yet firm judge and having that correct balance. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Velez. Now, the next question will be addressed to you first, Attorney Velez. Now, considering that 6 of the 54 judges in Palm Beach County are Black and 3 of the 54 are Hispanic, do you think our judiciary represents the community? And how important is diversity on the bench?
Thank you. I don't see the timer, but so obviously judges, the number of judges is based on the actual population. So more people in a county, more judges. Our diversity is important, and the bench should reflect the community it serves. All our leaders should reflect the community it serves. And so there should be technically right now 13 Hispanic judges if we go based on the population. And of course, we know that the population has boomed, and diversity is important. People should be able to see themselves reflected in their local leaders, especially judges, especially county court, which is what I'm running for, because most people, if they ever appear in court, will appear in county court. It is, after all, the people's court. I, as many of you know, am a Hispanic woman, and I think that not only do I offer the experience of a mother, a Hispanic woman, a business leader, a business owner, but I also offer a breadth of experience. So people, my time is up. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge D'Amico, you now have 60 seconds to answer the same question.
This is an easy question. Diversity in Palm Beach County, in the state and in this country, as far as on the bench, is way out of balance. It needs to be put into balance. We're working in that direction. I work in that direction, doing that. We need it for not only an appearance of fairness, but appearance and functionality. As a college professor for years, and I will continue to do this even after I'm a judge, will have facilitated diverse people, not only to get into the college, but to get through a particular course or a particular test or a particular exam by giving free tutoring. I have talked and counseled many people on getting into 504 plans so their college experience will be better, and their law, in some cases, their law school experience is more manageable. As a judge, I also work on getting diversity in the courts because I do believe it is so important. And this is not just the last 4 months, but for many, many years. As you know, the JNC process occurs.
D'Amico, your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Judge D'Amico, the last question will be addressed to you first.
Yes, ma'am.
Last year, the Florida Supreme Court enacted the new case management rule to expedite the resolution of civil cases. And in the next 12 to 15 months, there will likely be an influx of trials. How would or how do you manage your courtroom to make sure that pro se litigants have equal access to the new case deadlines?
Well, I always make sure that pro se litigants, first of all, I always try to get them lawyered up at the front, but if they definitely refuse getting a lawyer, I do not put their case on the back burner. That's the last thing you want to do. Actually, I like to deal with those cases on the front burner because they tend to be more difficult for a judge to go through those types of cases. The AO you're talking about does not really affect county court civil as much as it's going to affect circuit court, because it doesn't involve small claims. Small claims is out of that order. However, the cases above 8,000 and up to 30,000 civil, most parties usually are lawyered up on both sides in those types of cases. However, when there is a pro se under even those circumstances, again, Judge D'Amico is not going to put them on the back burner. I really like to deal with those cases first because they tend to be more judicially intensive for the judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge D'Amico.
You're welcome.
Now, Attorney Velez, you will have 60 seconds to respond to the same question.
Thank you. So pro se litigants, which is what most cases in county court, which I'm running for, are, they're going to need, obviously, a little bit of education and a little bit more explanations. But how would I handle it? The same way I've handled being an attorney for 16 years, working with and helping people from all walks of life. So pro se litigants are not always going to be indigent or poor. Sometimes if you have someone that is a small business owner, it doesn't make sense for them to hire a lawyer. Of course, whenever possible, I would recommend they hire a lawyer. But how would I efficiently handle it? the same way I handled thousands of cases for well over a decade every day over numerous courtrooms, sometimes 7 to 10 courtrooms in one day, again, for almost 12 years, and in private practice. It can be done. It just means rolling up your sleeves and getting to work, which is something I've done my entire life and across 3 professions. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Velez. Now, at this time, we will take questions from the audience. So I have a couple questions here from the audience, and I will address the first question to Attorney Velez. How will you balance being an independent judge and an elected official?
I will handle it well. I think that it is important that we have stakeholders at the table that are representative of the community. And I would do that fairly and efficiently, the same way that I've done as a business owner, the same way that I've done in the business world. And as a judge, I think that it is important that our community is reflected on the bench. And I would balance that by continuing to be who I am, to serve in the community, to serve on boards of organizations that help everyday people, and to continue to work in the community with lawyers, with nonprofits, with the poor, with women, with children, and be part of all the organizations and groups that I've been a part of. I will continue to do that while on the bench as your next Palm Beach County Court judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Velez. And now, Judge D'Amico, you can answer the same question, and if you need me to repeat it, I can.
Go ahead.
The question is, how will you balance being an independent judge and elected official?
Well, I've been doing it for the last 20 years. You know, it's so important when you become elected by the people to remain humble. You know, as you know, judges usually get their reputations the first 6 months they're sitting on the bench. And when you walk into a courtroom as a lawyer, you know whether or not you're walking into a courtroom where the judge is the king or the queen of the court, or whether or not the judge is a servant. I pride myself on being a public servant. I have since the first day I took the bench. Humility is something that's so important. A judge's demeanor is so important, not just for the lawyers, but just imagine when the general public comes into the courtroom and they see that degree of control and the nature of the control coming from the bench. It could scare you. It could scare you away and make your experience not a good one. The way I've been doing it for the last 20 years, it's been working. The people love it. The attorneys tell me they love it, and I'm not going to change anything now. I'm going to operate the courtroom the same way the next 6 years.
Thank you, Judge D'Amico.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have one more question. I will address it to Judge D'Amico first.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment to date? It can be regarding your legal career, or it can be regarding your personal life.
You know, as a lawyer, it probably was both as a prosecutor and a public defender. You know, prosecutor, especially when you're in felony court, sometimes you're dealing with some pretty evil situations, and if you can take that evil situation and stop it from happening, like in victim crimes and murder cases. As a public defender, even more so than the experience I just described, I've had the situations where I've had innocent people who've been charged. The government made a mistake. Government makes mistakes. And to go into court and to prove that person was not guilty and they keep their innocence, that badge of honor probably is one of the most beneficial, most exhilarating aspects of being a lawyer. Being a judge, I really feel being a judge is a service. It has always been an honor, and it's never been my right to do it. It's been my privilege to do it. And as I said, I'm so privileged to serve the public and the lawyers. And I hope to do that for the next 6 years. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Judge. And I will address the same question to Attorney Velez, and if you need me to repeat it, I can.
No, thank you. So my greatest accomplishments legally have been some of the best ones. During COVID, I've had clients, dads that I reunited with their children. They were not able to see their children during COVID for numerous reasons. And so reuniting, dads with their children has been a big one. Obviously, defending clients that were innocent and not guilty has been an incredible accomplishment in my life. And I'm most proudest of non-legal wise of being a teacher, a high school teacher, educating our children, helping them navigate during the trauma that was 9/11, and then leaving that obviously to pursue my dream of being a lawyer. So I have quite a few accomplishments that I'm proud of, including the fact that I'm running to be a Palm Beach County Court judge and to serve in our community. I think that that would be another great honor and a great experience, and I hope that everyone votes for me, Karen Velez. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, lastly, we will have closing statements of 1 minute each per candidate. And we will start with Attorney Velez. Please proceed.
Thank you for having me. I'm Karen Velez. I have the depth of life, work, legal experience that we should have in our local leaders, especially on the bench. I have the experience for the bench. I've been an attorney for 16 years and I have 3 professions, 2 others besides the law that would assist me and make me a valuable asset on the bench. We know judges make important decisions, even at the county level. Some might argue county court is more important and judges have a higher impact. Why? Because it's where most people will appear if they ever appear in court. We know our justice system is dominated by representation of people of color inside the legal system. The judiciary, our profession, Palm Beach County, all of it benefits and is best served when the bench and our leaders reflect the community they serve. Palm Beach County has been my home for 24 years. My life, work, legal experience across 3 professions, all of it have prepared me to be deserving. And I ask for your vote as your next Palm Beach County Court judge. Please vote for me, Karen Velez. Thank you.
All right. Now, Judge D'Amico, you may now present your closing statement.
A lot of your questions dealt with diversity, and I think that's such an important issue. I think what you want diversity, you want diverse people on the bench, and people that are not from a diverse group such as myself, you want those people on the bench to be fighters for diversity, because if you don't have that, you could lose it. So we're still in the process of getting there. I'm going to go through some support that have interviewed my opponent and myself, and I'm going to talk about the people or the organizations that show diversity. The Human Rights Council, for instance, endorsed me. The National Organization of Women, both the Sun Sentinel as well as the Palm Beach Post, as well as the La Guia News, which is the Hispanic newspaper. The Hispanic Vote PAC endorsed me, as well as the Hispanic Chamber. I go over these specifically because they all are looking for that important diversity, because it is so important. But after interviewing the both of us, they decided, based upon, I think, my experience, my qualifications, and the fact that
I let you go a couple more seconds over because Attorney Velez did, but your time is up now.
Forgive me and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to both candidates, Attorney Velez and Judge D'Amico, for being here with us tonight.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Good luck to Group 23, both of them. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now for Circuit Court Group 16, the candidates in attendance tonight are Attorney Karen Syperstein and Attorney Alcoya St. Just. We will now proceed with opening statements. Each candidate will have 2 minutes. And we will begin with Karen Syperstein. And you may begin when the timer starts, and I don't see it quite yet. All right, you may begin.
Thank you. My name is Karen Syperstein, and I'm running because I have the right experience, knowledge, and temperament to best serve our community. I've practiced law for 20 years almost and have had the benefit of private firm experience and government service. I currently proudly serve as a Senior Assistant Attorney General in the Civil Litigation Bureau here in Palm Beach County, representing the state, its agencies, and employees when they are sued, including judges, prosecutors, public defenders, this circuit court, Tri-Rail, DOT, and many others. This experience sets me apart as I've had the opportunity to work with judges, providing a unique perspective of the inner workings of the courthouse. I handle matters of great importance, which include civil rights, constitutional challenges, and personal injury. Previously, I ran my own successful law firm for 10 years, handling a variety of cases, including business, real estate, and I also served as conflict counsel for the Public Defender's Office in New Jersey, where I'm from. I have also served as a mediator and an arbitrator. I've mediated over 500 cases in the course of my career, including service as a state mediator handling family and dependency cases here in Palm Beach County. I also arbitrated cases in New Jersey as a quasi-judicial officer, hearing cases on the very subject matter that I would handle as a judge. I determined fact, applied the law, and made decisions in areas including employment, contracts, business, personal injury, and real estate matters. I've worked with people of all socioeconomic backgrounds and served our community as an impartial neutral, which is essential for service as judge. All of my experience have prepared me to serve as your next judge, and I will be able to hit the ground running in many areas. I want to thank you for the opportunity to earn your vote today, and I appreciate when we all vote, and the F. Malcolm Cunningham Senior Bar Association for facilitating this Zoom call. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we will hear from Attorney St. Just, and you may begin when you see the timer.
Do I only get 1 minute?
Timer is set for 1 minute. It should be 2 minutes. Hold on.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay. You may begin.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you to the F. Malcolm Cunningham Senior Bar Association and When We All Vote Voting Squad for hosting tonight's event. My name is Alcolia St. Just. I am a candidate for Circuit Court Judge Group 23. I'm a Palm Beach County native, born and raised in Boynton Beach. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm an attorney, as well as a special mediator, a special magistrate, and a former mediator. I have practiced law here in Palm Beach County for more than 18 years. I have served as a special magistrate in a quasi-judicial role here in Palm Beach County, again, for more than 10 years. It's given me the experience and expertise necessary to serve as your next circuit court judge. Additionally, I have worked here in the community with several organizations, including the F. Malcolm Cunningham Senior Bar Association, the Florida Association of Women Lawyers, the Cherie D. Cunningham Bar Association of Black Women Lawyers, as well as a number of other organizations, including the Palm Beach County Bar. I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, August 23rd, to ensure that everyone that comes before the court has a fair and equal opportunity to be heard, to ensure that no one comes before the court with any advantages or disadvantages, but everyone is on a level playing field, and to ensure that everyone that comes before me is given my full respect. I take this as an opportunity to serve in a greater capacity, to use my experience as a trial court litigator to bring to the bench, coupled with my experience hearing testimony, reviewing evidence, and making decisions as a special magistrate. These have prepared me to serve as your next circuit court judge for Group 23. I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, August 23rd. Again, my name is Alcolia St. Just, candidate for Circuit Court Judge.
Thank you, Attorney St. Just. Now we're going to get to the fun part, the questions. So the same question will be asked of all candidates. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond. And again, please wait for the timer before you begin. Now, question 1 will be addressed to Attorney Sipperstein first. Do you think trial experience is important for the anticipated success of a judge? And please describe how you would prepare for the various types of trials, both jury and non-jury trials conducted in circuit court.
Thank you. My track record is well respected in our community, and I've tried both jury and bench trials, which are all experience and knowledge that I will bring with me to the bench. As a judge, I would review the pleadings and anything that the attorney sent to me in advance to be prepared, such as motions, like motions in limine or memos of law. Importantly, communicating with attorneys to plan the order of witnesses and make sure everyone is making the best use of their time. For jury trials, I would prepare the jury speech and instructions, so I would be ready to start the trial as soon as possible so as not to keep the jury pool waiting. There also are things that need to happen behind the scenes, such as communicating with the clerk's office to let them know how many jurors will be needed, if there's going to be an interpreter. Do we need to secure court technology to make sure that projectors and screens are in place? Importantly, I will listen carefully and ask questions to lawyers if I need more information. But importantly, I will be prepared and be efficient.
Time is up.
Thank you.
Now, the question will be addressed to Attorney St. Just, and you will have 60 seconds to respond to the same question.
So I definitely believe that trial experience is necessary. I have litigated more than 200 matters to verdict as lead counsel. That experience has given me not only an understanding, but a knowledge of how to apply the rule of law, but also how to apply and comply with the rules of procedure, the rules of evidence. And so these are things that I know, these are things that are important to anyone litigating a case to ensure that when objections are made, the judge is ready and prepared to rule on those objections in a knowledgeable manner so that matters can proceed. Obviously, being prepared by reviewing information goes without saying. And prior to starting as your next circuit court judge, I would sit in and hear the trials that are going forward prior to me taking the bench, just to ensure that I have all the information necessary to hit the ground running day one. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney St. Just. The next question will be addressed to you first. Considering that 6 of 54 judges in Palm Beach County are Black and 3 of the 54 are Hispanic, do you think our judiciary represents the community, and how important is diversity on the bench?
I believe that diversity is important, and diversity is part of what pushes me to run for this seat at this time. Being able to bring a variety of experiences to the bench will help to not only increase my ability to perform my job well, but in sharing those experiences, I can assist my colleagues with being able to understand those experiences well, and to be able to nurture an environment that is best for all litigants that come before the court. It's important that when litigants come before the court, they do see a judiciary that is reflective of the community which it serves. And that is with regards to all aspects of diversity, not just race or gender, but even diversity of thought, diversity of backgrounds, and diversity of understanding. So it is important, and I'm asking to help bring some diversity to Palm Beach County by voting for Alcoya St. Just. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney St. Just. Now, Attorney Seiferstein, you have 60 seconds to respond to the same question.
I don't see the clock. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Okay. The judiciary should represent the community it serves, which includes representation of all people. I fully support the importance of diversity, which is why I volunteer on the Palm Beach County Diversity and Inclusion Committee and have served as a moderator for their program on A Road to the Bench. It is important that no one values one person's diversity over another and that everyone is treated equally. The community should vote for a judge based upon qualifications, service, and merit. I ask for your vote based upon my strong qualifications and experience, and I will treat everyone equally, fairly, respectfully, and with dignity. I have received the endorsements from all the major Palm Beach County groups, which represent diverse voter groups, and they have chosen to endorse me because they know I will serve in the best interest of the public at large. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Seiferstein. Now, the last question will be addressed to you first, Attorney Seiferstein. Now, Florida courts should always be committed to equal access to everyone, but sometimes litigation costs, communication barriers, lack of information, and other biases create difficulties for some to obtain access to the court system. How will you work to ensure equality for people of all backgrounds in your courtroom if elected?
Absolutely. If the clock is not up, or should I go?
Go, now you
Okay, thank you. I will ensure equal access in my courtroom should I be honored and humbled to be elected as your next circuit court judge. Since COVID, there are certain court hearings and depositions and mediations which have been done virtually. This provides increased access to the courts, efficiently utilizes the court's limited resources, and reduces time, costs of expense on travel, and significant time away from work for the litigants and jurors. A hybrid of remote hearings and live trials can be effective for the courts and attorneys and litigants, which promotes inclusion. I believe that over time, technology will improve, and I think it will be a significant resource. To ensure that there is equal access for litigants, there are existing legal resources, including hotlines, law libraries, the legal aid organizations, the public defender's office. There's also a court self-help center. When I mediated in the courthouse, it was downstairs and it was available to anyone who needed it. There's also the American with Disability Act coordinators.
Attorney
which-
Sipperstein, your time is up.
Thank you.
Attorney St. Just, you have 60 seconds to respond to the same question. You can begin once you see the timer.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question for me?
Of course. Florida courts should always be committed to equal access to everyone, but sometimes litigation costs, communication barriers, lack of information, and other biases create difficulties for some to obtain access to the court system. How will you work to ensure equality for people of all backgrounds in your courtroom if elected? And you can respond.
So when I started my firm, one of my missions was to provide access to legal assistance to individuals who typically could not afford that representation. And I've worked really hard to continue to do that. As a judge, one part of what can be done is education to the community as a whole on the processes and what to expect. When a litigant represents themselves pro se, they are held to the standard of knowing the rules of procedure, the rules of evidence, and handling that case as a professional, which tends to lend to frustration for litigants with the process as well as with the legal system. And it in turn results in a denial of access to the court system. So helping to educate, encouraging others to continue to provide that support and to ensure that it is provided to areas where there is a lack of representation. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney St. Just. Now, at this time, we will take questions from the audience, and we will begin with you, Attorney St. Just. Now, the first question from the audience is, having an effective and efficient judicial office is paramount. Please describe your administrative experience and strengths as a supervisor.
So I have successfully run, first it was the law office of Alcolia St. Just, and secondly, most recently, St. Just Gordon law firm while also practicing law. I understand the frustrations as well as the highs of being a business owner. I understand that there must be time management to ensure that things are done efficiently and effectively. Putting good staff in place to provide support as needed is going to be paramount. For judges, they have a judicial assistant who helps with scheduling and with returning calls and ensuring things are done efficiently, ensuring that my judicial assistant is on task and is prepared to not only handle all of the calls and emails that may come in, but to do so with respect, ensuring that everyone feels respected with every touch that they have of my courtroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney St. Just. And now, Attorney Sipperstein, you can respond to the same question, and if you need me to repeat it, I can.
Yes, can you please?
Sure. Having an effective and efficient judicial office is paramount. Please describe your administrative experience and strengths as a supervisor. You may begin.
Thank you. So I too also ran my own law office, and It's important to be organized and efficient and make sure you're handling your caseload. For me, it's always been important, whether I've been in private practice or public service. For example, when I was a mediator at the courthouse, we were responsible for our own statistics and taking care of our cases and being prepared. The same at the Attorney General's office. As a senior assistant attorney general, I'm in charge of my cases, making sure that everything runs smoothly, making sure the staff understands where the cases are going. And to me, working with people in the courthouse or whether it be in my office, it's very important to make sure that everyone's up to speed and understands what's going on, because that way you can work as a team together to have positive results. So my goal is to be efficient, compassionate, and be prepared. And I think with all those qualities, I will be prepared to hit the ground running as your next circuit court judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Zipperstein. And the next question will be addressed to you first. How or what will be your top priority when you take office?
So my first priority is making sure that everyone feels comfortable in the courtroom and they feel welcomed, and that they know that when they walk into the courtroom, they know that I'm there to serve them. This is a public service job that I am prepared to spend a lot of time on. It's going to require nights, it's going to require weekends, and it's going to require a lot of, being prepared, being efficient, being highly organized. And it's the running of the court efficiently, but most importantly, it's treating everyone respectfully and making sure that they know that when they come into the courtroom, that I'm there to serve them. I'm there to treat them with respect. And that's paramount for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney St. Just, the same question will be addressed to you now, and if you need me to repeat it, I can.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, you can begin when you see the timer.
So ensuring that the court continues to move. That day one, I have prepared to do whatever is on the court's calendar for that day. So prior to day one, obviously I've reviewed my caseload, I've reviewed any information that I need to be prepared to efficiently have a productive day one. Now, as a part of that productivity, obviously ensuring that I am well abreast of what issues are before me, ensuring that I am prepared to ensure that everyone is respected, that everyone has that fair and equal opportunity to be heard, but most importantly, that we're able to move forward with whatever is set for the day. So I'm not waiting for day one to get prepared. I'm going to be prepared on day one. Again, asking for your vote on August 23rd, Alcoa St. Just. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next question will be addressed to you, Attorney St. Just first. This is another question that we have from the audience. I like this question. How would opposing counsel describe you?
So at times aggressive. I am a stellar advocate for my clients, but I am always respectful. I know people like to use the term pit bull, but I feel that's a little bit too aggressive because it's frightening. But I believe that my colleagues would describe me as well-prepared, efficient, a strong advocate for my clients, and a respectful opponent who fights for my clients' rights while also ensuring that I'm demonstrating respect for not only the court, but my fellow counsel. So ensuring that we can disagree and fight on the issues while remaining civil to one another. And I believe my adversaries would describe me as such.
Thank you. Now, Attorney Zipperstein, we will address the same question to you.
Can you repeat it for me, please?
Sure. How would opposing counsel describe you?
Thank you. I like this question because I think it epitomizes who I am as a person. No matter what case it is. I'm always going to work hard for my client and do the very best I can do. I wake up every day proud to go into the office and serve and know that I'm putting my drop into the bucket. For me, I believe all of my adversaries would say the same thing, that I'm fair, I'm trustworthy, and I'm honest. And when I have a case, I always sit down with my adversaries, whether it be by phone now with the pandemic, and we go over the case and we discuss things that we can agree on and things that we can't agree on, because a lot of the cases, you'll see a lot of the same attorneys multiple times, and everyone deserves to be treated with respect and everyone should be cordial. We do civil litigation. It's about civility as well. So I'm proud to say that I think my adversaries would have positive things.
Cut you off, but your time is up. Thank you, Attorney Zipperstein.
Thank you.
Last question that we received from the audience, I will address to you first. Explain your practice area and types of cases you've handled.
Just for clarification, is that my entire life or at the Attorney General's office?
The Attorney General's office. You can respond as to that.
Okay, thank you. So I'm honored to proudly serve at the Attorney General's office in the Civil Litigation Bureau. And a lot of people say, what does that mean? I think of it as criminal. And the Attorney General also represents the state, its agencies and employees in civil litigation. So for example, if a judge gets sued, we come in and we represent the judge. The same with a lot of the entities and other state employees. They have immunity and we come in and we advocate for them, saying that they've acted within the scope of their authority and that there should not be any liability. I also handle personal injury cases, which means that if somebody slipped and fell on a train, we also represent Tri-Rail, and Tri-Rail gets sued. We handle those types of cases. I also deal with constitutional challenges, which means that if someone doesn't agree with a portion of the Constitution and sues on. Okay. I could spend a whole day, I'm sorry.
I know, I see. All right, and Attorney St. Just, I will address the same question to you, and if you need me to repeat it, I can.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, you can begin when you see the timer.
So I mostly handle cases in the areas of juvenile dependency and family law. In the area of juvenile dependency, I represent parents, mostly who are indigent, meaning they're unable to afford their own attorney, to navigate through the dependency process, which is when the Department of Children and Families becomes involved with the family because of abuse, abandonment, or neglect. In addition to that, I also represent children, some of the most vulnerable in our community, who have been abused, abandoned, or neglected and have certain special needs. Children who've been involved in human trafficking, children who are prescribed psychotropic medication, children who have certain developmental disabilities or educational disabilities, and children at risk of being placed in a skilled nursing facility or residential treatment facility. In addition, I represent family matters, which are divorces, paternity, child support, child custody, and adoptions. I've been litigating for more than 18 years here in Palm Beach County. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney St. Just. Now, lastly, we will have closing statements. Each closing statement will be 1 minute per candidate. We will start with Attorney St. Just. Please proceed.
Again, my name is Alcoya St. Just, and I'm running for Circuit Court Judge Group 23. Happy to have the endorsement of 5 past presidents of the Palm Beach County Bar, 1 past president of the Florida Bar, and 2 past presidents of the National Bar Association. In addition, I have the endorsement of 8 local mayors and more than 45 state and local elected officials. In addition, I also have the endorsement of more than 80 local attorneys who have supported and believe that I am prepared to serve as your next circuit court judge. I have also been vetted by the Judicial Nominating Commission. It is a committee who takes in applicants for appointment to a court position for judge. I have been not only applied, but I'm the only candidate that has been vetted and deemed qualified and prepared to serve as a circuit court judge and I've had my name sent up by the Judicial Nominating Commission for merit judicial appointment to the office of the governor. I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, August 23rd. Again, my name is Alcolia St. Just, and when you go to the polls, remember St. Justice for all. Thank you.
St. Just.
All right.
Now, Attorney Sipperstein, you may now present your closing statement once you see the timer.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to talk a little bit about who I am. My mother was a teacher, and with my father, they both stressed the importance of education, hard work, and serving our community. These are the same values that my husband of 20 years and I teach our two daughters who are 12 and 15. I went to Brandeis University and ultimately Brooklyn Law School. And to me, education and learning are quintessential. I currently volunteer on the Delray Beach Education Committee, serve as a PTO president at my daughter's school, serve on a program for high school students as a coach for the Palm Beach County Federal Bar Association. And to me, that's one of the things that I'm passionate about. And service as a judge, the job is a great responsibility, but it also provides a platform to serve our community, teaching and going out into the public so that others learn about the judiciary. As a judge, I'll continue to serve our community and have a direct impact. And
Time is up. 60
thank
seconds.
you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you to both candidates for being here with us tonight. We greatly appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Now, thank you to all candidates who attended tonight, regardless of your party affiliation or where you stand on the issues facing our community. We encourage you to vote. Voting is the most important civic responsibility that we have as citizens. So make your voice count. Early voting for the primary election started today and continues through August 21st. Election day is August 23rd. Good night to everyone, and thanks again for joining us.